Hey friends, welcome back to the Backyard Gardener. And it is fall and it's absolutely gorgeous weather out right now. And I want to tell you why fall is the perfect time for you to start your own compost pile right in your own backyard. All right, so what you see here is 3 piles at different stages. And the one over here on the left is basically, you see a lot of chunks of this is like wood chips, and there's grass clippings and leaves and just some of the garden waste. And this just basically started. I just started this not that long ago. So that's why you see large chunks in there. This one here, the chunks aren't as big, and you notice it's a little darker and it's actually starting to look like soil. This one's about halfway done and still has a little ways to go. And this last pile here, this is just about ready to go. I could actually load this up into some of my compost area. This broke down a lot. And if you notice the chunks right here versus the chunks right there, what a difference. You know, you could actually see, this looks like dirt. So this is a sign of, a healthy compost. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the actual compost pile itself so you could get better understanding. All right. So this is why I'm saying this is the perfect time of the year, fall, is to start your compost, because look at all these nice dry leaves. This is carbon. This is a really nice brown to add to your compost. And this makes the compost really healthy. And I also have another item here too, which I wanted to grab for you. This is cardboard, which is just, it's not bleached or anything. It doesn't have any paint or there's no tape or anything like that. This actually works really good too in your garden, because the worms like to eat it up. And basically, when the worms, have the droppings, it's like perfect for compost. So this is just the idea of something that's really good for our carbon. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll show you some of the nitrogens. I'm going to show you some good greens, which are your nitrogens. This is my grass here. I actually have to cut the grass, but I just kind of grabbed like a handful just to show you of a perfect source of some nitrogen. You could throw this into your compost pile. Let me show you a couple other things. I just pulled up these weeds here before. This is another source of good greens, which is your nitrogen. And then just right here, I just kind of found this on the ground, but this is when I was trimming some of my bushes in the front yard. You could actually throw this in as a nitrogen. And some of these weeds here, you just kind of like rip them out and then put these in here. And this is like a perfect source of basically nitrogen. So I showed you the carbons, which are your browns and stuff like that, your dry leaves and different items like that. You layer them in with the greens, and there you go. That's how you make your compost. So I just wanted to make this video just to kind of show you guys how easy it is to really make a backyard compost. So it's really that easy. And you're pulling all your plants out of your garden right now, the ones that are kind of spent and done and over with and dead, put those in there too. Layer those in there. And if you run them over the lawnmower, it's a little better because it kind of breaks them down a little faster. So I'll show you a little bit more detail in the next part about the layering. All right, so here we are. This is the pile I showed you that had all the fresh ingredients. It's kind of like we're making some kind of nice dinner for somebody. It's going to be for the plants. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to mix everything together, and then we're going to water it down. So basically I'm going to take what I showed you before, these nice dried leaves, some egg cartons. They break down excellent as a carbon, and also some cardboard, which is another carbon, and some of this wood chips, excellent carbon. And then we have all this nice, really fresh cut grass that was just cut today. So I'm gonna mix all of them up. It kind of show you so easy it is. It's nice, light and fluffy. It's so much easier if you use a pitchfork to do this. You try to do it with anything else, a shovel or a rake, you're gonna have a really hard time. Let's get this nice and blended well. See how it's coming together really easy? Oh my gosh. I have the superstar of the show coming. Little chipmunk. You here to make sure I'm doing it right? Yeah? You gotta be here when I spray the hose? Anytime I start mixing this stuff up, the chickens know to come over here because they're generally worms involved. There's some kind of nice bugs that they like to eat. All right, so this is really mixed nice. If you guys could see that. Let me see if I could zoom in for you here. Look at that nice mix. Very well blended. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just hit it real quick with some water. Chipmunk, good thing you weren't in the pile now. And this is basically all you have to do. I'm showing you a live demonstration. Getting everything nice and wet. Remember, this stuff's bone dry because I just put it in here. Now I'm going to mix it again. Get stuck in the back. All right, let's go ahead and mix it. Let's put some more water on there. And this is how fast you could do it. It actually doesn't really take that long. I think the longest thing is building it out of this, the pallets. The second longest thing is going to Costco and getting an egg crate. Taking all the eggs out and putting the egg carton in here. And then the third longest thing would be cutting the lawn. All right, I'm going to do it one more time after this. See, that's starting to get heavier and it's starting to flop. That means it's starting to get pretty wet. Might actually, even just since it's so dry out today, might just do it one more time after this. But I just want to give you a demonstration to show you how to do this. And it basically answers all the questions that you might have, hopefully. The first time you do, you want to give it a good drench. But as you turn it, you'll notice it will hold and retain its own water. You don't have to drench it. Just kind of keep it maintained nice and moist. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do it a fourth time. All right. Stuff is going to be definitely breaking down quickly. I could tell. It's such a good blend. This is basically from the grass from my front yard. So it's about 4 full bags of grass with about the same amount, probably a little bit more of leaves because leaves are so fluffy. Seems like a lot of leaves, but it's really not. All right, so it's really nice and wet in there. I'm going to give it its final drench down over the top. My chicken's trying to get in there, but you go in there. It's not going to be what you expect. You actually like going in and eat the grass too. This last time I'm going to give it a nice little drink. And then when you come out, I would say probably in another week from now, turn it again. And don't be surprised you start seeing the pile get really small. And by 3 or 4 weeks, this pile will be half the size, but it'll be really getting to the point where it's ready to use. Sometimes I wish I found a video like this to show me in the very beginning how to do this. And I know this works because I use it myself. And I showed you in the very beginning of the video that nice black gold that comes from this. So I drenched this down really good. And that basically takes care of that part. And maybe a little close up what it looks like. Nice blend. That's pretty much it. I'll show you my little partner in crime here. Chipmunk. Hey, up here. He's the one that's always getting into the piles. All right, let's move on. Just a reminder, don't forget them coffee grinds. If it's anything like my house, we have coffee grinds every day to put in the pile. Another good reminder is all those kitchen scraps, throw them right in too. All right, so I feel pretty satisfied in showing you the different things about composting. I showed you the greens and the browns, which are your carbons or your nitrogens, which are your common house things that you have around your house. You have your your nitrogens, which are basically your grass clippings. You have some stuff that you're pulling out of your garden, anything from the house, like you make a salad, you cut off the bottom half of the lettuce or whatever the case may be, and also your carbons, which are your browns, your dried up leaves around the house. You could use cardboard, egg cartons, and like I didn't mention before, like save your coffee grinds because your coffee grinds work excellent as a green. So you just like in another video I showed you, just layer them, and next thing you know, you're setting yourself up for the springtime. You're gonna have a really nice harvest for the springtime because all the stuff you did now. So about gardening, farming, everything is preparing now for the next season. So you prepare your compost. I'm telling you, your springtime is going to be amazing. Your harvest, all your plants are going to look amazing. So this is little Maisie, right? Little Maisie. She's one of our little babies. So she's actually getting big. Look how big she is. She's camera shy. So, but anyway, I had a good time making this video for you, and I hope you give it a try. And right in the comments, let me know, have you ever tried it before? Did you try, succeed? And if you have any questions, let me know. So all right, so I'll see you in the next one.